One of our biggest challenges is actually that. It's logistics. We have a postage stamp. We don't have room for laydowns. We don't have room to stack garbage, which in a lot of ways is, from my perspective, is really nice. We don't, you go around a lot of sites and there's just lots of room to put things. So that's what you do. You put things there. So we have to keep it really clean. We have to be real organized.
Warning, explicit content. This material may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
Work all day, nothing comes free, you gotta find a way. Gotta be willing to go put in some elbow grease, cause you know nothing that you get in this life comes free. You gotta work all day, gotta pay these bills, ain't time to waste.
Hello, miners. Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome into Mining Minds. Welcome into this special episode. Sitting here hanging out with my man, Dino Brunson.
What a day, man. What a day.
And we're going to bring back a blast from the past, Mr. Joe Dase himself, to finish out the introductions. What do you know, Joe Dase or Jose Dase?
Jose Dase, yeah. You gotta roll with what everybody knows, I suppose.
Well, before we get too far, fellas, I'd like to say that we are sitting with the management team from SOUTH32, the Hermosa Project. Joe Dase is just sitting in Grover's line of fire, so
there you go.
Just keep it going.
It's okay. Yeah, so Joe Dase, Jose Dase, look after construction and execution. Been here for about 4 years and happy to be a part of it.
Do you remember what episode you were?
Oh, shoot, I can't remember which number it
It's
was.
probably 12.
Yeah, you were early on.
I was early on, I
Yeah.
know that. But yeah, it's been a minute. But
Well, I think
Grover
you're-
and I have been BSing, need to do it again. So when this came up, I'm like, sign me up.
Well,
I'm in.
your last title was shaft sinking extraordinaire.
Yeah.
and,
There you go.
you've grown since then.
Yeah. Now I look after more than just shafts. I got a concentrator, a bunch of underground, all that kind of stuff, working
cool.
for Aaron. So yeah, no, it's a great opportunity, a great project.
Looking forward to hearing from.
Well, we'll continue to go down the line. Next, we have another gentleman we got to work with from the northern states, I should say, Nevada.
That's correct. Miguel Lamadrid, General Manager of Operations. Love it to be here. I've been to the project, year and a half?
Yeah.
Loving it. I mean, born from Mexico. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Lots of stories about it. Been in a lot of years over there in the northern Nevada, but now here.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you again. I got to work with you a
Awesome.
litit bit at Cortez, but it's good to catch up. You always have great energy.
Oh,
So
look at that, eh?
Yeah. I'm like,
Special, give me that safety. Give me that safety.
Well, I will say this before we start the podcast. It's infectious, and I'm sure that's going to show through the podcast and with the recruiting efforts and everything down the line.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that part of it as far as how that's going to transition through the story today.
absolutely. Next, the eye candy of the group, I'll say. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I suppose that's the first time I've ever been labeled that.
Yeah.
He just needs a flight home.
Yeah. I'm Aaron Lamb. I'm the project director. My responsibility is to get everyone home safely here. I report to Andy. Been here about 3 years. Worked obviously with you guys in Nevada for quite a long time, and really good to be here. It's a good company to work for, good project. One of the most exciting projects going on right now.
And you got your hands full.
I sure do.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at all the stuff doing the tour today, man, there's a lot that all you guys have going on. It sounds pretty cool. It seems pretty cool. I know we'll dive into it, but excited to see you again, excited to talk to you guys. Last but not least,
Andy Thompson, Vice President of Project Delivery. Been on the project for 6 years. Before that, spent about 1.5 years with Mosaic Fertilizers in Central Florida. And prior to that, 14 years full-time with Barrick, but 19 years all up with summer work.
yeah, buddy, I think that's the last time I saw you was at Cortez, and then you kind of boogied from there. So good to catch up.
Mosaic Fertilizers.
Yep.
Okay, so is that a transition out of the industry?
Well, 19 years with summer work with Barrick. Wanted to grow outside of gold and see a different commodity. And, drag lines and phosphate fertilizer manufacturing was something I'd never been a part of. So an interesting opportunity and a real growth opportunity. And people that know Skyly, I think you guys will have her on a podcast later, but she called me up and said, hey, you want to help us build an underground mine in Arizona? and I told her no 6 times.
She's
But,
pretty persistent.
yeah, here I am. So been here for 6 years, and really happy with the team we've built and the culture we've built here.
Man, I will tell you this: with the opportunity that we got to, we got to take an opportunity today to tour the facility, but the opportunity that you guys have as the management team to, how do you say?
I would say bring something to Arizona, bring
Yes.
something to this area in a positive way. Listening to all the stuff, and I know we'll dive into that, but what a cool, unique opportunity, and it's outside of gold.
Well, I would say the years of experience that are sitting out in front of us right now. I mean, 100% professionals in the industry, and to have you guys on one team, and you said you're the project delivery manager.
Vice President of
Vice
Project
President
Delivery.
of
So I
Project
bridge the construction team. So Aaron and then Miguel on the operation side. So we could get into the nerdy details about it, but Aaron's got to build it. We have an operational readiness team that bridges us from what Aaron and Joe build, and then Miguel picks it up once they're into operation. So the things like the water treatment plants, the things like the TSF, those are things that are in operation right now. So Miguel's looking after the wells, he's looking after the water treatment plants. We're not just building, but we're operating as well. And Miguel takes it once Aaron and Joe are done building it.
Okay.
So maybe I want to say, who wants to take the challenge of giving us the best overview of your guys' project for the audience out there listening, watching? Does anybody want to give us an overview of what you guys
Who's been here the longest?
Yeah, or
Yeah, there it is. Right
there we
there.
go.
Yeah, so you get a chance to manage this out as the vice president, right? So
Yeah, delegate.
the overview, and then we can transition from there as far as you hand it down the line.
Well, Joe, maybe you kick off and start with where you started, which was the early works program with the wells, and talk about where we went from there. And Aaron can pick up anything you miss.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I joined 4 years ago, almost to the day, first challenge was dewatering wells, dependent on dewatering here. So, what started out getting rigs to site was a challenge in and of itself, but we got through it. And, at the time it was the largest rotary program in North America. So it was huge rotary program, large diameter rotary, but, then went right into water treatment plant 2 construction, commissioning. We got that up and running, and rolled into pre-sink hot and heavy after that, and been on since. So right now we're Cliff Notes version. We've got 2 shafts that are sinking. One just got vent shaft, just was out of the 3680 station. It's blind sinking below. We're at 3680 at the main shaft.
Nice.
We started a portal over on the other side for the Clark deposit, and we've got a concentrator going. We're about to kick off TSF restart activities, and paste plant construction shortly after that. So it's full on.
To say you guys are busy would be an understatement.
Yeah. Well, we're busy, and then the other problem I think that we see is those of us that are here every day, we don't see the progress, right?
Sure.
Folks that come in every day, they appreciate it more than us. We don't. It just happens,
Well,
right?
you guys are also bringing a new mindset to doing some of the same old stuff. You're dry stacking, but you're taking 50% of that and going to use it for backfill. I believe this is the first paste that's going to be down here, at least in the Arizona area.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that you guys are taking and maybe from other areas, but using best in practice here, from my understanding.
Well, and let's make comment too that the land package here is not huge. You guys are doing a lot of all this work in very minimal area.
Yeah, one of our biggest challenges is actually that. It's logistics. We have a postage stamp. We don't have room for laydowns. We don't have room to stack garbage, which in a lot of ways is, from my perspective, is really nice. We don't, you go around a lot of sites and there's just lots of room to put things. So that's what you do. You put things there. So we have to keep it really clean. We have to be real organized. We have stuff stockpiled all over southern Arizona. We've got transformers around Phoenix. We've got countless items in Vail and in Tucson just in storage and in maintenance, getting ready to come up to site. I coined it term Bluetooth laydowns. So we don't have Bluetooth, we don't have laydown on site. It just shows up on a truck.
So did Skyly, did she call you 6 times as well?
I think third round is when she got me.
Third round?
Actually the first time, I think I was going to work. I worked a brief stint with Agnico Eagle, which is fantastic company, by the way. But I was the American program manager, which was, we had a property in South Dakota. We were looking at some stuff on, but that was kind of coming to an end. My contract was coming up, and Skyly, it was actually Corn Ferry is actually who called me and asked if I was interested in a job at a project in southern Arizona. I said, yeah, I suppose. And then I called Andy. I said, you quit? He's like, no, I got promoted.
So you know how when you're in middle school and you said, hey, can you ask this person if they're interested in going to the dance with me?
Yeah.
We did that with Corn Ferry. Said you might want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, it was
Is there any way you can get them, right?
yeah, it was good timing, and as great a company as Agnico was, they were not looking to expand in the U.S. at the time, so it was perfect for me.
So I got to ask, maybe while we're sticking on you, what's the most exciting part for you in this project?
You know, it's the team for me. I think we've assembled a really, really top-notch team. The best team I've ever worked with by a long shot. Not to downgrade the other teams, it's just we've really had the opportunity to start at ground zero and pick the people we want, and had really good luck with getting people to come here, and it seems like everybody's happy. So a lot of excitement. As challenging as projects are and as stressful as they get, a lot of excitement on the project.
I would say from my vision of where I've seen you guys last, I mean, not only have you guys grown your career, but you guys are into the executive level ranks, right? You guys are on one of the most important projects in the country, if not the world. It's tough construction conditions, you know, with tight land packages, but you guys have got each other to rely on, and I think that's why Skyly was making those phone calls, and then you were tapping, you know, her on the shoulder to say, hey, let's bring this guy in. Not only have you guys worked together before, but you trust each other, and on a project like this, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think that what you said, and the trust is the most important, right?
Yeah.
That we know as each other, right? When Andy called me on February, hey, Miguel, I was the general manager in First Majestic, and Andy called me and says, hey, the project got approved. I says, Andy, congratulations. Well done. You've been doing pretty good. Yeah, but I need a general manager here. I said, well, let me find out if I know somebody. No, I want you here. So get your ass here as soon as possible.
So let me ask you that. What's been the most exciting part for you?
You know, let me tell you, when I came here, the first thing is the team.
Yeah.
You know, when getting all the faces that we used to work together and how we start building that team together, right? A mine is a mine. But what makes difference about this mine is all the technology, everything that we're putting in place from day one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have no many opportunities to build something like this big and having the opportunity to operate it as well. Doing it right from the first time, right? Utilizing the technology. Team is awesome.
Well, I get it. I will say you guys have an opportunity to set the standards that you want, and you're not getting 15 different supervisors coming in trying to, you know, implement their plan.
Yep.
You guys get to set that to where it's going to be an easy transition for somebody to come in and mine it the way it's set up from day one.
Well,
Yeah, that's correct. Sometimes you get to operations and you go to a point that, all right, well, let's expand the project, right? We have new areas. Well, this is from the beginning.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, you're doing it right, making sure that you have all the safety protocols, all the safety culture to the people, you know, engaging the people to come in here, knowing what we're doing, and that's the most important thing.
Well, I look across the table and all four of you individuals that I've worked with before, you're engaging. You want to be there. You guys want you know what I mean? You want to be involved. So that starts right there as the difference. And I think you've been on different projects. I've worked with you on different projects. Joe, I got to ask, just kind of going around the table, same thing. What's different about here that you see? Because I see a lot. And before I throw in my 2 cents, I'm just curious.
Absolutely. The culture is probably the best one that I've ever been a part of. And I'm echoing what Aaron and Miguel said, but the team is fantastic as well. And it's not because it's heartfelt, right?
Yeah.
Look, and for me, it's a great opportunity to build something this big. It's basically the same thing that drives all of us. We've got an opportunity to help the community and help SOUTH32 grow. This is our first great greenfield project, you know? And so if we knock it out of the park, it's, hey, there's more and there's potential for more, say. Yeah.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast is Safety First Training and Consulting. Headquartered here in Elko, Nevada, but mobile enough to reach you anywhere throughout the United States. These guys can cover it all, from MSHA approved and new miner training, annual refresher courses for both surface and underground. They can help support with health testing like spirometry, respirator fit tests. They even offer courses like fall protection. So head on over to their website at safetyfirstelco.com. Check them out. Their mission is to help your crew adopt an ownership mindset. Not just do the training, but live the training safely every shift. With top-notch instructors and hands-on classes, Safety First Training and Consulting makes sure you're not just compliant, you're confident. Give these guys a visit at safetyfirstelco.com. Well, one of the things I wanted to know, I just thought it was awesome. I know all you guys were involved with it, but I believe it's the we're shitting in the shaft right now, but it was a 11-day continuous pour.
Oh yeah.
And you guys batched all of that on site, correct?
Yeah. So everything was batched at the batch plant, literally right behind us. Sunt was the contractor on it, subcontractor to Redpath. But anyway, their concrete division knocked it out of the park. I always have to caveat it that because I don't do any work, I just attend meetings, and that's it.
And
but
keep your thumb on them.
yeah, my hands are not calloused anymore, unfortunately. But no,
That's my line.
But all seriousness, no, it was really cool, and you probably have all seen the videos, the time lapse video of it going up. But it's probably one of the quicker slip forms on a head frame. We've still got a bit to go up top, but we'll get through that.
Yeah, I thought it was impressive, man, to look at this thing and go, oh, you guys are batching right here. You're able to, that's cool. And then the opportunities that brings going forward for your underground to be able to do the same thing, essentially.
Yeah, I don't think I slept for 12 days.
Yeah. And then
the fire-breathing dragon that is monsoon season was coming up on us. And once monsoon season starts, we wouldn't have enough time to get back going again. So we're right up against the weather. There's not enough lightning-free days that we could have broke forms free and got started again if we'd have got shut down. So it was an amazing feat, and the batch plant never went down.
Oh yeah, well, and I think it was 24 hours after we topped out, we were on lightning delay.
Oh really?
So we
a little bit of luck in there.
Yeah,
too,
a little
right?
bit of luck. Yeah, we'll take it.
So for the audience listening, you get a lightning alert, red lightning. You can't go outside. You can't do work.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about a pour this big and important, that shuts down things for safety.
Well, talking to Pat earlier, it needs to be continuous. You need to be able to do it all in one shot. And if you can't, that had the opportunity to push the project out. Yep. And so, Andy, I'm going to go back to you. At what stage is the project in right now? How much longer do you guys have until it's time for go live?
Yeah, so we're in execution, approximately 50% complete on the project. But, the project's gone really well. But before we move on from some of the cultural aspects of this team, I wanted to point out that one of the things I value greatly about this team is they have the experience and the competence to execute this project, but they also have the humility to know that there's a bunch of lessons out there and you just have to be humble enough to learn them. And so that is the dichotomy of our team is you have to have the confidence to lead. You have to have the confidence to provide clarity and assurance and an operating system that's predictable. But we provide that balance knowing that there's going to be better ideas coming from the ground floor up. So the operators, maintainers, technicians, the miners, the contractors, they're giving us good ideas all the time. They're doing hazard recognition. And we have to be humble enough to say, yeah, we can do this better. And that's what I like about this team is there's a lot of trust here. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of competence, but it's balanced with that humility to know that we can still do it better.
Yeah, I mean, that was the feeling as soon as I seen all you guys this morning was there is no ego here. It's all teamwork. You could feel it as soon as you walked in, and having you guys sitting here with us today. I mean, that just resonates with how I felt when I walked in. Pretty impressive.
Well, you start to have that ego and then all of a sudden, you don't want to lose, and then the project starts to lose, right? Because you can't set things aside and play as a team.
Well, it sounds like the planning process, though, of the way things are structured and the way that you guys are running it is you guys are taking that time to do everything that's right. I mean, you guys are painting the mill area a certain color of green, right? I mean, level of detail. You went out to the stargazing place and really we're looking at, I'll let you tell the story, I guess.
Yeah, actually, we went up to the observatory up on the hill because it's a light concern. We can cause them pretty serious problems in the work they're doing, which we don't want to do. They invited us up and we went up there and just looked down at the site. And yeah, it's like, man, I get it. So had Leo, my engineering manager, get a hold of him and say, how do we need to design the lights to make sure we're not causing you problems? So our ultimate design and lighting, always looking when we drive in the morning. Of course, it's dark when I get to work in the morning. I'm looking at lights to see if they're pointing in the wrong direction, but it's important. It's that's a really cool thing about Southern Arizona is all that, so the observatories and that sort of work. And we certainly don't want to get in the way of that.
Well, good on you guys as far as being like a good neighbor, right? I mean, how many miles is that from the project that you guys went out, and me as a regular person being this far away from that, from the observatory, I would never think that of even thinking about the lights or the pollution of the lights, but that's the steps that you guys are going in the planning process to be a good neighbor, to be us, the great company that you guys are here in Southern Arizona.
Was that a question? This is where we can edit. This is where
That was a statement. I just thought it was. I just thought it was impressive that you guys are going to those lengths, and most people that the listeners, people in the community, they don't know that mining companies are going that far.
Yeah, Dino, I think it's a good point. I mean, if you look at the color of the water treatment plant, it's what we affectionately refer to as Forest Service green. I don't know the actual color, but it's because it has lower visual impacts. And we want that because that's part of the impact on the community. So, I mean, the mine over time will have tremendous benefits. South32's purpose is to improve people's lives now and for generations to come through responsible and sustainable mineral development. Part of that is, if you're not going to work here, maybe you're retired. Well, we want to limit those visual impacts. So the reason water treatment plant's that color, and the reason certain components of the concentrator that color, is so that we can fulfill that mission.
Yeah.
Well, and being part of that community, I know one of the things that you guys do right now is, or one of the first things that you did when you got here was put up that water treatment plant, right? So you're treating all the water that's coming through here, or has went through here, or will go through here, but you're sending it out cleaner than what it had actually been before here. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's spot on. So they're deep aquifer wells, large diameter, and it's to create dewatering. So I don't want to make this overly technically complex, but what we do is we move the water out of the mine workings so that we can have the right geotechnical factor of safety, and make it primarily so that there's not high pressures down there. So when the miners go down there, they can safely advance the face. And what we're doing is we're taking that water, we're treating it, and then what we do is we put it back into the aquifer. And so effectively what we're doing is relocating water. So in mining, we call it dewatering.
Sure.
But what we're really doing is we are relocating the water further away in the aquifer so that it can re-infiltrate back into the aquifer with that better quality. So Miguel looks after the plant, and they're doing a really good job to make sure no surprises on the what's coming in or what's going out.
Yeah, and the fun thing about it, the people that works at the water treatment plant is people from the community.
Perfect.
I mean, we're engaged to have at least 80% of our people working here at site from the community or living in the community, right? Santa Cruz County. So we started with the contractors. We're not gurus on water treatments. They build the plant, they train us, and then after that, we hire local people that operates that plant and bring that quality water that we require.
And those
which is amazing.
And those local people are invested because this is the area they live in.
Absolutely.
And so we say it a lot, but the people in the mining industry that live in these areas, they're more invested a lot of times than anybody else because they care about where they're at. And this water is going back or being relocated at a better quality than it's ever been into the aquifers.
But you live in Santa Cruz County,
In
right?
Santa Cruz County, that's
Yeah.
correct. Rio Rico.
Well, I would say for the community to be able to know who you are, you know what I mean, and see how excited you are about what you do and about mining, and be able to tell the story from your perspective. I think that's important for that's huge for the community. I mean, I think up north we take it for granted because we got these smaller, mining communities up north, but down here in Southern Arizona, it's a little bit bigger ball game.
Absolutely. And the people engagement as well, right? In
Yeah.
the community. I mean, I'm from Hermosillo, Sonora. So I live, and I used to come to Nogales since I was a kid, right? And so I have a lot of friends here as well. So it has been quite helpful as well when I came back and say, hey, Miguel, I haven't seen you for 25 years or 30 years. You look a little bit better. This is not free.
Well, I will say, having you in the community, I mean, from a recruiting side of things, you're going to know a ton of people, right? And essentially, that's what you want. You want as many people that you can to pick from to be able to build the mine. I would say as safe and as efficient with the local people as you can.
That's correct. And actually, we're engaging the contractors coming in here to hire people locally, train the people, And then after that, we hire that people. As Aaron start building the stuff for us to start operating, we get the people here. So that's the commute.
That's very cool. I want to talk about, and I don't know if any of you guys can, but you guys are on a pretty cool geological area here. So much so that I think we need to mention on the podcast, like there's a lot of government involvement here. Does anybody want to maybe talk and walk us through the geology here, what you guys have, and how invested not only just the state, but the
What it's gonna do
nation
for the
should be?
nation, yeah.
Yeah. So, in regards to the geology, this is going to be a massive oversimplification, but the best way to think of it is a spoke and wheel. But think of a wheel on an old wagon. Okay. So the hub would be where some type of heat event happened geologically. And apologies to the geologists who will roll their eyes.
This is why I asked somebody else to explain
Yeah.
it.
So the Taylor deposit and the Clark deposit are one of the spokes off the wheel. And so favorable host lithology or favorable host rock made it so that it deposited this, which is a large zinc, silver, lead, manganese, and copper deposit. And between Clark, which is oxide manganese, a little bit of zinc, a little bit of silver, it is connected geologically to Taylor. And Taylor is a sulfide zinc, silver, lead. And we're finding copper with the Peak deposit. And so that's kind of the geologic hosts. The critical minerals that the U.S. government's interested in. So they call it mineral dominance, but I think what their more intent is making sure that we have domestic supplies of the minerals that are important to us domestically and the ability to manufacture them. And by having that geologic host here, it's unique that we have all those things in one place. And they're quite interested, so they've partnered with us on the Clark decline, and we're looking at other opportunities to partner. We'll see if they come to fruition, but it is a unique place that has quite a few unique critical minerals. And so, Pat, who you will talk to in a different podcast, works extensively with the U.S. government to make sure that they understand our geology, what we have hosted here, why it's unique, and how it can benefit the long-term security of the U.S.
Yeah, well, I think it's not only the minerals that are here. How do I say, being able to be sustainable, is not just for the U.S. I mean, you guys are planning for sustainability for the local communities, and that's just, an extension of what you guys are doing here on site.
Yep.
That's correct. And the amazing part about this project is all of the drilling that we have, surface drilling. And you know what the underground world is. Once you get underground, you continue drilling. And how does that do to your body, right? I mean, who knows? But once we get underground, we're going to continue drilling. It's an amazing ore body.
Start opening up those drill platforms. And
Absolutely.
who knows where the end is, right?
Absolutely.
That's an awesome part to be at. So I also want to talk about, and we've mentioned it a little bit, the footprint that we have out here. You guys had to play a little bit of Tetris to get everything on site. So most people, I would say in Arizona, are used to big land packages. You guys don't have that opportunity, but you've made the most out of that opportunity. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that's fair. I think the way I always describe this deposit or this project is technically the challenges aren't complex. It's logistics. Like, this is a logistics project as much as anything, to Aaron's point on the Bluetooth laydowns and whatnot. But what occupies this ground today might not occupy it tomorrow. Right now, we're in pretty much our final configuration with aside from some earthworks and whatnot, but there for a while, it was literally, okay, we've moved our office buildings, 4 times? So, it's just,
sometimes you got to shuffle things around to get it to where,
until a new area is open, and then you can move it there temporarily or whatever, right? Hey, that's what we signed up for. We know it, and we can do it.
But a lot of moving parts, and you're still able to keep your people safe. You're still looking after the environment. The other cool thing that I wanted to just note is you guys are using natural gas for a lot of power, at least currently, right? Like, that's something we don't hear about a lot. Anybody want to?
Yeah, we have self-generation going on right now. It's compressed natural gas. Ultimately, the line power, we hope to have mostly renewable energy coming into site. So, Yeah, it's natural gas is good, but when we get to ultimate design, it's even better.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because you don't hear a lot of that. You guys do have a plan to go, hey, there's other options out there, but for you guys again, think outside the box and go, how do we get this done or across the board without waiting for that power, so to speak? Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, our good friend Jimmy Ewing and Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. When your machine overheats, there's no downtime to waste, especially in mining. That's why Mining Minds recommends Motor Mission Machine and Radiator, your go-to experts in industrial and heavy equipment radiator repair, engine and cylinder head rebuilding, and precision machine shop work. Founded in 1949 and serving the Western United States for over 50 years, Motor Mission handles it all. Radiators and coolers from passenger vehicles to massive mining shovels and full machine shop services like honing, line boring, and crankshaft balancing. They'll pick it up, tear it down, clean it right, and test it on custom stands before it leaves their shop. The bottom line is, when you talk in best in class, that's Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. Big or small, they can do them all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I will speak from personal experience. It's a learning experience running on self-generated power. Joe and I spend a lot of time on that topic, and little power blips and everything else. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, I mean, coming from, I guess I would say, most of our backgrounds, that's one of the things I would have taken for granted right off the bat, right, is the electrical infrastructure. And,
not only do you have power lines coming in, you might have a redundant set of power lines coming in, and the power just never goes out.
Yeah, well, and with it going away, that transmission line coming into the site, I mean, here shortly, you guys are able to start pulling trucks off the roadways, right? I mean, with construction coming through Patagonia and up to the mine, I mean, there's a lot of trucks on the roadway. That's something else you guys are looking after to make sure everybody's safe, whether you're in the community or working here at the mine. So,
yeah, that's right. We actually, early on in the early works, we call it Cross Creek Connector, which is the connection from Highway 82 to Harshaw Road, which bypasses the town of Patagonia. So we get all the truck traffic out of the town of Patagonia, and we can stage them there and get them to site. We actually escort them the full way to and from site. We bring people in and out.
So the other thing Aaron did is implemented a busing campaign. So Aaron, you want to talk about what you did with the buses?
Yeah. So the original plan, which we were a lot smaller when I got here. Everyone kind of got themselves to the parking ride in Patagonia, and then we had company pickups coming up. And obviously for a mine, it's not sustainable. It's too much traffic on the road, too much risk, too much exposure. So a couple of stages. The first stage was we put professional drivers in all the vans. We tried to run as many vans as we could, and we put actual professional drivers in the vans. But more importantly, we implemented busing. So we actually have a coach program similar to what we had in Nevada. So we're busing in from Vail, Nogales, and Patagonia right now. So we try to get everybody to those sites to get them out to the project.
And one thing that I think is really important about that is, we're starting this as residential from the start. And so, different parts in the world, people work differently. But when we think about our shift rosters, of course, we take safety into account. We're in the U.S., so we have hourly employees. So we think about how does it affect their paychecks. So do they have consistency of paycheck to paycheck? And the other piece that we think about is how can we provide it so that they can live in the local area. And one of the things that's really important with that is because we want to hire an 80% of the workforce of people that are already here, we have to keep all of that in mind as we design from what's the right shift roster from a safety standpoint, what's the right locations where we provide park and rides. And then that way we can deliver on that commitment so that we don't turn into a drive-in, drive-out or a fly-in, fly-out, because we want to keep the benefits here in Santa Cruz County in southern Arizona.
Sorry, Mountain View Transport's another good story. They're local. They were a little local tour company. They were taking tours like up Mount Lemmon and things like that. That business has grown dramatically. It was one of the important things to us as we try to find someone as local as possible. We didn't want Stagecoach or somebody from these bigger companies coming in here when there's some local opportunities.
I think that's important to highlight to our listeners is I'm going to keep going back to it. That's the level of detail you guys are looking at this from. It's not just set it and forget it because I've worked with these guys forever. This is just how we're going to do it. You guys are taking each other's strengths, weaknesses, zero pride, and looking at it from the people's perspective. And I think that's just amazing, man. I mean, to grow a mine like this, that's what you need is the people, right?
That's correct. And what Aaron did with the bossing is setting up the stage for the operation, right? I mean, once we start getting into operation, like Andy says, we guarantee the safety of our people. So we got to make sure every single miner goes home safe every day, guarantee. And they guarantee they go on time as well. So we don't want to have traffic jam on the roads where they need to wait for trucks coming in or out. So looking at the inbound and outbound logistics is critical as well to make sure our people go safe, guarantee that on time, and people come on time as well, safe. So
I also think I'm getting an awful lot of credit. Mike Homer, Mike DeMott, John Wicks did all the work for the buses.
Well, I do want to ask you from a personnel perspective and like a mine site schedule perspective. You've got experience in this area, right?
Absolutely.
So where, from your perspective, what does that look like that might be different from where we come from?
Well, something that we gotta bring it up is not only the experience, is the culture, right? I mean, in this area, we don't have so many miners, right? Yeah. So it's becoming no miners into a mining culture where people will come in, will understand the values, will understand the safety, will understand the controls that we have in place, having everything, the automation that we put in place, the tablets, we're going to have a control in Nogales, which we're building right now. So that culture coming into the people is from the beginning, right? Like automation on the wells, automation into our processing. We're right now finishing, this is the first time we've done it here, and South32 help on that, on the Certified Electrician Program, which we're helping the community to get prepared to that. So we're getting that one. We're going to have a second program there with the instrumentation side of things as well, because that's what we need here, electricians, but no instrumentation. So we're training our people to getting those certifications and give that opportunity to the community, right? So as we grow, as Aaron's team start building everything to get on the ground and start producing.
Well, what does that look like from a vendor perspective? Are you guys able to lean on these vendors and go, hey man, we're making impact to not only make these communities sustainable, but we're growing these folks individually, right? I mean, you're taking them to where I would think financially.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. There's not much underground mining in southern Arizona. We're building a supply chain. Yeah. So it's not just buying things from Sandvik and Epiroc and the normal companies. We actually have to build the supply chain. So we've actually partnered with them on when we buy underground equipment. They've agreed to bring warehousing, service all into Santa Cruz County as well. Same with some of our mill suppliers and that. So part of our conversation isn't just, can you provide us with parts and equipment? It's, can you provide us with this service in southern Arizona that currently doesn't exist?
How you can partner and actually be not, it's not a name, it's a real thing, right? That partnership.
That's right. And everybody's been receptive. Everybody's positive. Sandvik's a prime example. We bought our underground fleet from Sandvik, and they've agreed to bring their service in southern Arizona, and it's specifically into Santa Cruz County. And they've also agreed to put some parts warehousing down here for us too.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, and a company that keeps projects moving forward, a company that's keeping this podcast moving forward, is Walsh Reclamation Inc. If you spend any time around drilling or exploration, you know how critical good support is. And that's exactly what Walsh Reclamation brings to the table. These guys have been supporting mining and reclamation projects across Nevada since the early 90s and have decades of combined experience behind their crews. From building drill pads and access roads to vac truck support and full-on reclamation work, they're the team that shows up, they get it done, and they keep everything on schedule. What stands out about Walsh Reclamation is their focus on doing things the right way. They have a strong safety culture, a focus on environmental responsibility, and a real understanding of how these remote projects actually operate day to day. So if you're running a project, need support in exploration or reclamation, these guys are definitely one to know. You can check out Walsh Reclamation by clicking the links on the episode notes or heading over to walshreclamationinc.com. That is so cool.
Well, I think, with the facilities that pretty much all of the major OEMs are starting to establish here in southern Arizona. I mean, you've got CAT, you've got Komatsu, you got Sandvik. I mean, if you're a major player, you're in the Arizona market in the southern parts of the district, right? To where this is essentially going to be the future training grounds for underground and surface mining for the U.S. at least.
Well, I got to ask, with the technology, we guys talked about all the technology. You guys are going to have a lot of remote stuff, a lot of autonomous stuff, right? There's a lot of technology going into that. Maybe can you talk about that, or can anybody talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's amazing, right? That's something that is very, very cool about this operation. Not only we're going to have autonomous muckers, semi-autonomous muckers, autonomous trucks for haulage. We're going to have a loop where the trucks will be unmanned, and they will be picking up the ore from the ore passes and send it to the crusher. We're going to have production drills, semi-autonomous. We're going to bring the opportunity to have operators from Nogales doing hot changes there in Nogales, operating the equipment here on the ground. Wow. So yeah, it's quite fun and a lot of infrastructure to put in place.
Yeah, how far is Nogales from site?
We're talking about 40 minutes from here.
Okay, so to have somebody 40 minutes away
Yeah.
running the operation, I mean, you'll still have maintainers and things
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely.
But the mill is also, or the concentrator is also going to be.
We're going to have the operating controls in Nogales as well. We're going to have supervisors here looking at the areas, looking at the workplace inspections. But absolutely, we're going to be operating the plant from there.
That's cool.
I want to ask a question to the group on the future of mining. I mean, obviously, you guys are working a greenfield project right now that I guess it's up to your guys' creativity and the standards that we have to operate by. But where do you see the future of mining for South 32 is from like a technological perspective and a people perspective?
Hermosa.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's not like in the old days, right? Remember over there in the Cortez, well, let's have the donuts and talk about it. No, we're gonna have the operators will have the lineup in their iPads. Yeah. We're gonna know real time, not only the location, but what the equipment is doing, where are they doing, what's the standard of the equipment, when the equipment requires to have maintenance. We're gonna have the mine plan in there as well. So the efficiencies, not only the safety and the guarantee, but the efficiencies on the process will be unique. Just on the mining side, right? I mean, we're gonna have the same on the concentrator. Joe's teams has been helping a lot on putting all the system in place. But the technology that we're going to have there, every miner will have your iPad.
Well, so what about like your AIs and things like that? Are you guys venturing down those roads for, I guess, maybe processing some of the data and maybe analyzing it to go, we used to do it like this, but we changed because of AI,
Yeah. So we have a company tool that we use for artificial intelligence. And because we're able to use that, we can use it for a variety of different things to save time or do those types of things. What I will say, everything we've been talking to you about gets back to the root of planning. And some strange man with an Australian accent that ran through Nevada named McNevin used to say strategy before structure. And I think all of us have taken those things that we learned from the people that we've worked with and we implement those. I'll give you an example. You can put a construction schedule into artificial intelligence and tell it to say, these are the predecessors, these are the successors, tell me the critical path. And then you can ask it to say, okay, where do I have risk in this? But you need people like Joe. You need people like Aaron. You need people like Miguel to use that insight, okay? So I believe fully that some of the best people that we have are our operators, maintainers, technicians, and our miners. And so I think one of the things that you'll see is we will leverage technologies like that to help inform us. But mining is a people business.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
and has been a people business. And, when Miguel talks about the automation, the development mining will still be done with humans, okay? So we will have things like collision avoidance and those types of things. But our vision is when you get to work, you know what your job is. We know that you are competent to do that work. And that way you can get down there and get on with it because we treat them as professionals, right? These are skilled professionals. And I don't care if they came out of Santa Cruz County and they're learning mining, or if there's someone that's came in here from outside and they're teaching the people how to run a jumbo, how to run a mucker. We want to give them the tools and resources to make their jobs better, safer, easier, better. And so I say that for us, artificial intelligence will amplify what we do, It will help speed the level of decision making. But really, we want to get those insights to the people doing the work so that they can make those decisions in real time faster. Because you guys know, when you're 3,000 feet underground and you're faced with something, if you come into a condition you don't expect, you want your supervisor to be able to see it.
Yeah.
And if I can call Miguel and say, hey, here's what I'm seeing. What do you think about this? Here's what I think I should do. I can see it in real time. Cool. All good. Like, do it. And that helps the speed of our decision making.
Well, from a supply chain perspective, hey, I would imagine to be able to do a lot for this site with this being a Bluetooth, supply chain site, whether it's spare parts, recommended spares, critical spares. You're going to be able to see your life cycle costing at a snapshot, right? To where, the OEMs that you're signing up with, like, is it doing what it truly said it was going to do, to where hopefully helping with the cost and your cost per ounces, or however, you guys are going to be quantifying that. But, and if you can have a miner going underground that is in a certain heading that's got certain geology and it's all right there on their iPad for the certain standard that they could have, your bolting patterns, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I want to say it's refreshing to hear you say that, right? Because I think this whole team can probably, we're a people business. It's really what it is. Yeah, we got a lot of fun technology. That is the cool thing, because we've seen without technology, and we get to bring in the new technology. But at the end of that, technology is a tool, but I think all of this right here, this group, makes mining what it is.
Well, I don't think technology is taking place of people. It's just adding benefit, right?
But I know we got to wrap up here quickly. I was just told, got the still second sign. So, but maybe get some final thoughts for you guys if we didn't cover anything, or if you want to, Joe, you want to take her?
I would say, what do you guys see in 5 years from now, from your seat?
Shoot, in 5 years, best vision I can have is that this property's off running and successfully and safely, right? And it'd be, the best thing would be to look back and say, God, we were a part of building that, right?
What's Joe Dase going to be doing in 5 years?
Yeah, so don't know yet. Right now, I'm so engrossed in this. I'm not thinking myself 5 years. I'm more worried about my family in the short term and the success of this. Truly am. It's not
awesome.
Thinking about it, but hopefully hopefully it'll still be with South32. Look, one of the reasons I moved down here was because it's a good place for my family. It's brings my wife back home. Happy wife, happy life,
Well, you can work on your old car
I've
whenever
got
you
a big
want.
shop,
You don't have to worry about it being
which
too cold.
she hates, but that's okay. She'll get through it. But
Well, knowing you took a lot of evaluation before you chose South32 Hermosa, and so this must be a pretty special place. If you said, hey, I'm going to raise my hand and set my family there.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great opportunity, and great area to be in, and just grateful to be part of it. Sounds like I'm saying this repeatedly, but it's because I am. It's truly humbling to be a part of it.
Oh, that's all good. Miguel, any last thoughts?
It's all about the team that we are building here. I mean, and we welcome people to come here. I mean, it's we're building a culture here that we took the best of the best to put it in one place here in Hermosa. So it's a great project. It has, yes, a lot of technology, but we're bringing a lot of amazing team players into this organization.
My last question for you, Miguel, would be, what would you tell the county of Santa Cruz about the project, and how would you want them to understand your mind if they've never been here and they're wanting to work here?
This county is kind of one of those uniques, right? We have generations to come, generations to get to high school, and then generations to leave the place. Generations that they don't stay here. This gives the opportunity to grow the family, to get people in here, to grow the community for generations to come on a very safe place, on a unique project that will bring that education and that growth to the families, to the people, and to the project.
Well, I'm going to challenge the three of you, because I would love to sit down and get all your guys' story at one time. No pressure, but to walk through your guys' journeys too as we kind of do that. I wanted to throw that out before we got out of here. Aaron, any final words?
Yeah, I think for me, if I'm looking back on this project, the most important thing to me is no fatalities, no serious injuries. That's what we say. That's our target. That's our safety target, is no fatalities, no serious injuries. And regardless of anything else that happens, we've built a successful project if we've done that. And secondly is watching the mine grow. Hopefully I'm building another project somewhere, watching how great Hermosa's doing, and getting ready for the next one to come.
That's
Heck
cool.
yeah.
That's a vision right there. Andy, last but not least.
Yeah. So I started mining the summer of 2000. I was working in underground exploration at Gold Strike and Rodeo. And at the time, I, like a lot of people that are multi-generational miners, thought I was going to do something else. I'm incredibly grateful that I got into mining. I, like the rest of the team, am humbled to be able to be part of this project and have a leadership role here. But what I would say is right now, there's someone sitting in a classroom or they're working somewhere else that doesn't know how their life's going to change because of this project. And they may not recognize it immediately, but mining has changed my life. It has changed my family's life, and that's South32's purpose. But all that said, I agree with Aaron. The most important thing we'll do over the next 5 years, no fatalities, no life-changing injuries. And then beyond that, we want to see the project develop and do it as close to schedule and cost as we possibly can, because that's the commitment that we do to provide our purpose. But really, really excited, really grateful for this team, and appreciate spending the time with you guys.
I appreciate you guys having us here, sitting down. Feel like we're with the Yankees, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get to hang out with a bunch of cool dudes, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Guys that we've all worked with. So I'm going to say thank you, Dino, before we get out of here.
I just want to say it's been awesome to catch up with you guys. I know it's been a short time, but it all feels like we haven't left. You know, it's like we see each other every so often. But thank you guys for having us on site, taking us on the tour, and sitting down, taking some time with us. Thank you.
Excited for you guys, man. Check us out, Mining Minds LLC. You guys look good on those hats, by the way.
Hey, it was great to see you guys, eh?
All right, guys. Adios.
Adios.
From the pit to the plant where the iron sparks fly, we talk grit, talk grind under that big sky. Dino and Grover got the mic turned high, breaking down stories money just can't buy. From the driller to the tech with the night shift eyes, we shine that light where the truth resides. Talk safety, talk struggle, talk pride inside. Man, it's the heartbeat where the people thrive. Come on in minds, we dig a little deeper. Stories from the soul, not a corporate speaker. Human element is the real truth seeker. Every week we rise, podcast speaker. Come on in minds, we dig a little deeper. Stories from the soul, not a corporate speaker. Human element is the real truth seeker. Every week we rise, podcast speaker. Yeah, copper, gold, silver, coal, you name it. We break down the process, the blood that sustain it. Presumption flow, the culture, the cause, the ones who made it happen. Never counting the loss. We the Joe Rogan of the rock and the dust. Talking tough love, respect, and trust. From the whole road climbs to the mill line home. We bring the stories where the real ones come. Money minds, we dig a little deeper. Stories from the soul, not a corporate speaker. Human element, it's the real truth seeker. Every week we rise, podcast speaker. Money minds, we dig a little deeper. Stories from the soul, not a corporate speaker. Human element, it's the real truth seeker. Every week we rise, podcast speaker. This ain't no suit and tie talk. Nah, this the grease-stained boots on ground law. From hard times to the times they thrive. Minded minds keep the culture alive. We salute the companies that back their crew, the ones that care and the ones that grew. From Nevada to Peru to the odds and minds. We link that world with the honest lines. Dino and Grover, yeah, they speak that truth. In a room full of miners, they the voice of proof. Plug in, tune up, and follow the signs. It's the